It's already a busy day here at the shop. The guys are away for right now. They went on a little lunch trip. They took the 599 and the GT350R. Today I'll be staying busy. Gotta finish this Nismo edition up. We are gonna sell it, but I'm actually gonna sell it to hopefully a friend. Hopefully he takes it. This is auto. Not a big deal. It's still a fun car. I'm not a fan of Nissans, but yeah, this thing's amazing. Or it is an amazing car, but not this one exactly. But I'll be taking care of this one here. Full decon wash, clay bar, paint correction. It doesn't look bad. It can use a little bit of a shine up. Just like a lot of the cars here, they come in a little dull and then just do a single one-step pass and they just look like completely different cars. This is a Roush edition Mustang. So this one's also pretty fun. This one's actually easier to drive than the GT350R. GT350R has a weird clutch feel to it. I do like the 350R more than this one, but like to drive this one more than the other. Oh, and this one is signed by Roush himself. Right there. And all these are 6-speed manuals. So they're always fun cars. A little loose on the suspension. I'm not a big fan of that. But overall fun cars. So I'll get to it. Stay busy. It's going to be a long day. So I'm finally done with the prep side of the paint correction. And usually when you do really good prep, you start to see all the bad parts of the paint. So you can see all these little fine craters. As here in person, you can see the difference when we started. And while I was doing the clay bar cutting away, there was a lot of oxidation being picked up as well. It is a 2014. That's actually pretty common. About 7 to 10 years is the usual for oxidation, especially if you don't do any sort of protection. Finally had the manifold gasket come in and a few other parts and a few little troubles here and there. It's finally in, all lined up. It is really difficult to get the top mount up there. These two made it together. You have to line everything up. Everything's still a little bit loose. All this needs to line up. Kind of tell the tips here a little bit crooked. So once we get the bumper on and the tips there, we'll have to mess with it again, make sure it's nice and perfect, not touching the tips of this portion here. This way it doesn't have any vibration or anything like that. But I mean, overall, this was actually a pretty simple job. We actually ended up doing something here. There you go. You can kind of see there. I'll zoom in. But these two here, this is a nightmare to get to. And you have to first do the two nuts here, the copper ones, and then put the air rail on here. The OE style is like a Allen key stud. Let me see if I can find it. It's sort of like one of these. So you have to perfectly align it, get the gasket in between the manifold and the air rail, and get these in perfectly. That is a terrible design. We ended up doing studs instead. They're somewhere in here. I guess they moved them, but we ended up putting studs in there. This way it acts like a guide for the air rail just to slip right on, and then you just put your nut right over it. And that took a few seconds versus trying to fight the other way. So if you ever do a 458 or if you ever have that issue, you can just do studs similar to like the manifold studs here. They're threaded both ends. It'll save you a ton of time, a lot of effort. Just makes the job go by quicker. So it's going to be easier for the next guy. And in the future, we'll be doing that to all the vehicles. Just cutting away time because it's definitely very time consuming. But this basically can start up now, which I probably will be once the guys get back. We'll just install the valve controllers. They're unhooked right now. And we'll do a test run, make sure everything's nice, you know, shouldn't be no issues. Everything's pretty simple and straightforward. Put the O2s back on. I'm pretty sure these are already on. These are already tight. but pretty simple job. You know, just a couple of little mishaps here with not having the manifold gasket. They did not come in on Tuesday. They ended up coming in on Wednesday. Wednesday, I was pretty ill, feeling really exhausted and nauseous. So that was a complete waste of a day. And I believe that's the same day I did the Roush paint correction. I don't know if I filmed. It's been just crazy busy. Um, but yeah, this thing was pretty beat up. It just had tons of watermarks. But it looks pretty good now. That's typical with a lot of the vehicles we get in. They just need a quick pass. Well, this one was actually a two-step, being that the watermarks were basically etching rather than just watermarks. So that was a little bit of work there. Aside from that, I've just been so busy outside of the dealer, just moving out, doing just so much. I mean, I was only getting 1 to 2 hours of sleep. Matter of fact, a few of the days I would park close by the shop and just go to sleep there for 2 hours and come in. It was just crazy busy. I'm still not done moving. I still have stuff in storage units, but I'll take care of that over the weekend. So
start the car and listen to the exhaust. So. Yeah, Josh is here. Everybody gives me crap because I don't do anything, but I didn't do anything. Alan did all the work.
Yeah, Alan did all the work. This is his job. So, all right, let's hear this Sport Cat F1 IPE exhaust.
All right, here we
And I got the remote.
So when we first received this vehicle, we thought we wouldn't need to do a paint correction or any sort of decon wash. I mean, take a look at this clay bar. It's not as bad as we started. This is actually second pass with the same clay bar here. Or I should say new clay bar, because the first one completely destroyed. So we're having to throw them away immediately. There's a lot of tar in the bottom quarter panels, the entire hood, roof, and the fenders. The whole top side was completely covered in rail dust or just industrial fallout. Just nasty condition, but I'll take care of this one, do a pretty quick paint enhancement, not really a correction. It's starting to look good already with just the clay bar done. Today is Sunday, end of the week, so I finally have some time to clean up my car. This thing has not been cleaned in 4 months. Just look at how nasty these little wood and my poor Advan wheels. I mean, you're supposed to take care of expensive wheels. So I'll be cleaning this thing up and getting ready to replace pads and rotors. These are overdue. You're starting to get the rings around the rotor there. So it's time to get this vehicle freshened up. I actually have a full exhaust, mid pipe and header by 2J Racing. They definitely sent that out to me, so we'll take care of that at some point because these are very beat up. The clear on the carbon is starting to peel back and pretty bad here. So being today Sunday, yesterday we were out at Josh's property. We are finally back in business in the residential construction side. So we are out there quoting for any residential needs, whether it's concrete, land leveling, building pads, framing. Yeah, we're back in business with that, and I'll be posting a lot about that pretty soon. That's going to be very busy as well because I'll be also on site as a labor hand, making sure all the projects are going very well. I run all the administration side for that, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm pretty confident. Our first 2 years in the previous company that I ran was very successful. Just some unfortunate events with my business partner passing away. I won't get too much into that, just out of respect out of the family. It's just a pretty bad situation, so we'll keep that topic just off the channel. I'll mention it here and there without getting too into detail. But I can basically just say that that's the reason why all my building projects, home buying, all that stuff was all canceled. I took a very big financial loss. The 458 is still back there. The 430 is up in the air. I'll be doing the carpet cleaning extraction on that. Fortunately, missed filming a lot of things and just delaying a lot of my projects. I know the last video I said that I was going to release the first episode for the Corolla, and then another little tragedy happened, so I won't speak on that one either. But we're going to stay just dedicated to what we do and not let anything keep me from reaching these goals that I've set out. Doing a quick interior cleaning on the carpet. Meanwhile, we have the seats out for the manual conversion. Take advantage of all the seats being out. So we'll go ahead and take care of this real quick. So let's take a look at how dirty this carpet really was. So I already did one half dumped out, and it's pretty nasty. Let it drip a little bit. This way it doesn't gush out like before. There we go. Look at that. Very nasty. The joys of walking back over to the service side, because this 355, really like it. You know, wish I could pick one up. Even the yellow is growing on me. I'm not a big fan of like super bright colors. I usually stick to like white, black, blues, and sometimes green if they're like an emerald. Maybe in the future. We'll take a look at some 355s later down the road. But here's the after. Those nasty stains that were there are gone. Pretty cleaned up. I can't remember if I did it before. We'll figure it out when I'm doing the editing. That's really it for this one. I was also messing with the 458 meanwhile doing this. 458 is throwing a bunch of codes and the valve controllers are not working. We've already done numerous different steps of diag on this. You know, we checked all connectors. We took the box off, opened it up, manually did everything. Nothing seems to work, so we're trying to figure out what's going on. Everything's grounded, so we'll figure it out. You can manually open the valves here. You just pry them up. As long as they're touching, you know, it'll back down and back off, so you can tell when they're open. You can do that, so it's not the actual mechanical side of this. We tested the vacuum. We did get vacuum this side from the valves here. This valve might be the suspect, but even then, it should open up this valve with this one working. So we went ahead and did a T-post here, a little T-off. Where is it? Here it is. A little tough to see. So we split lines here since this was clearly opening up and bypassing and allowing air to go to the valves. And even then, nothing worked. So we're stuck. Got done with cleaning up the carpet on the 430 over there. We did a bunch of diag on the 458. It's definitely the solenoids for the valves, but we did a proper diag on that. And then we also had a pretty scary little fault. Whoever used to work on this, I think I mentioned in one of my videos, there was a complete hack job of a mechanic working on this thing. And then the car stopped running while we were doing some diag. So we're like, what the heck caused the car to turn off? Well, the negative battery terminal was completely loose and popped off while the vehicle was on. And if you know anything about automotive, that's, you know, pretty dangerous. So ended up busting the fuse. We don't know exactly what that fuse was. It was a 15 amp, so it must have not been nothing major. We replaced that 15 amp fuse, and car started back up and all the codes went away, and we went back to diagging it, and now we have a valve control solenoid coming in, and that should take care of that job and put it back together. Just a weird weird number of events today, that one being just bad mechanic prior to us. So we'll definitely let the owner know, please not to go to that guy, because he destroyed the heat shields by the manifold that cover the air rail. There are some of the trim panels kind of like cut clearly with cutters rather than like naturally some sort of debris or anything. So whoever's been working on things, a complete hack job. Just shouldn't be touching Ferraris. Then also got pulled away from the shop. Josh's 430 broke down just down the road, about 10 minutes down the road. The Camaro that I'm working on now, we're doing a short shifter. The whole column assembly here is going to come out, drop in the transmission. Going to lift it up in the air a little bit, drop the trans. A lot of little steps to this. It's not as simple as some of the cars that I've worked on where everything is done from the top. So the short shifter's all done. Just oddly, there was no grommet for the OE boot here. It's supposed to come with the grommet there so I can finish it up. Quickly summarizing the today 458. Very odd. We finished everything up. We've already have a sound clip of the vehicle running, and then the valve controllers, the solenoids probably don't work. And we did a full diag, and meanwhile we were diagging, the computer completely tripped out and set off a lot of different codes, just many that were unrelated to what we were doing. So we were a little worried. We were like wondering what the heck happened. And I did notice the dash was flashing like a security, and then we were trying to start the vehicle, and you can hear the engine turning over, compression and air, but no fuel. So that led me to believe, something, a relay or the ECU tripped the security. And we went in there and checked out all the relays and fuses. We did find a 15 amp fuse burnt out in here. Don't know what caused it exactly. Well, actually, I do know what caused it, actually. Sorry, I completely forgot. It's been a long day. So whoever worked on this last left the negative cable completely loose. So I guess while we were doing our little revving and testing our 3500 RPM for our valve controller and all that, I guess it popped off, and luckily it only popped one of the fuses and didn't short the ECU or something major. That can happen, so you have to be careful when you're messing with your battery. You don't know what you're doing. And I mean, I've noted this stuff before earlier in the week, but this is all a hack job from the previous guy. And then he took, die cutters and cut heat shields because he couldn't get them back on. Whoever was working on this is just, shouldn't be working on cars generally, let alone Ferraris. So we figured all that out. Vehicle started back up. All the codes are gone. Solenoids are still bad. We have those on order. And we're 100% sure that's what it is. It's a very basic system. Just some vacuum too here. They are on closed right now, so the exhaust doesn't sound all that great. So we want to get that open. This one here earlier, that's what we started with. Looks very good now. Look at that. Completely stainless extracted. Let me toss these in there while I'm here, since I won't be here in the morning. I'll be very busy with the mobile detailing. So let me toss this one here real quick. Okay. So I'll be very busy doing mobile details tomorrow. Do have a lot of jobs. Well, I should say a lot. Big work for tomorrow. So I have all my paint correction, ceramic coating, the extractor ready. One of my clients bought a brand new vehicle. So we're going to do a really good job on that one. Get it prepped for a full year of protection. She's going to be very happy. Can't really think of what else happened today. Just a lot of things going on. At this point, it's already 10:30 p.m. We're already packed up and ready to go. So we'll continue this in the morning. Alright, so today I'm back out doing the mobile detailing. Got the whole equipment here. This is a brand new vehicle for this client. So we brought the extractor, all the polishers, little mini, the 5-inch or 3-inch. We're going to do a really good job on this. We're either going to do the Fuso coat layer on that, or maybe even ceramic coating. We'll see. We're about to discuss with the client. She's currently in a meeting. She is working from home, so we're not in a rush. Very nice day. so we'll take care of this job pretty quick. Alright, so for this vehicle we did sell a polymer sealant, just a budget of today. The polymer sealant is good for about a year. It's very hydrophobic and it adds a pretty thick layer of protection. It's one of my favorite products. I have it on this vehicle actually, so you can see how that car was dirty, and then both live in the same area. Mine's is like nice and clean. So it's very worth adding this to the vehicle. This vehicle has had it for about a year now. Should be going for another 6 months to a year. I do maintain it very well, but we'll take care of this one. It's a brand new vehicle to this client, so she's going to be really happy with the vehicle. So we'll be doing a one-step polish, more so a paint enhancement, not really a paint correction. So we'll take care of that real quick, and hopefully we'll end this day with about 3-4 hours of active work time, and we'll see if other clients pop in. I do have a lot of clients here in the southwest corner of Austin. I have numerous clients, so I've sent out text messages just waiting to see if any of them approve a service wash or any other major washes. And I might also go around knocking on doors, dropping off my business cards here in the area. It seems I have a really good clientele here in this area, so we'll take our time making sure we're promoting ourselves. So I'm starting to notice I just don't have time to film as much as I would like to, and also to upload. It's already Wednesday. I'm 2-3 days behind on uploading. It's okay. Nothing too interesting is going on right now. And then I'm also taking care of my vehicle. Before I go home, I had a 44-ounce Dr. Pepper fall all over this entire side of the vehicle. I had it up on the roof, and then yesterday's wind here in Texas was about 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. Maybe you've seen a couple of news clips about that. So yeah, I tipped it over, completely ruined the car. I had just washed it the day before, but it'll be a quick wash and we'll take care of that. Aside from that, you know, I don't know. We'll just figure out what the rest of the week is going to look like. It's already Wednesday, end of the day Wednesday, so only leaves Thursday and Friday, and we'll see how busy the weekend is. Alright, so I'm back to my first client when I started this business about a year ago. He did disappear on me for about 4 to 5 months, but here he is. He's back. You know, he has up to 3 Teslas in a single day. He was very habitual, whether it was bi-weekly or monthly. He was always scheduling me, so he definitely helped out on, you know, elevating this company, Audacious Garage Detail. So we're back out here. I'm gonna take care of him. You know, spring's coming around in summer, so hopefully he sticks around for all that. Now we have the 2 shop locations and a lot of added services. So we'll be doing a couple of free items for him. Actually, we're doing the whole extraction on all the carpet areas and upholstery, just getting it nice and fresh. You know, it hasn't been taken care of by myself in about 4 or 5 months, so I'm assuming it needs a good cleaning. So I'm gonna take care of this one really quick. So that's basically it for today. Just have some Yamabond. It's like not really a thick adhesive or anything. Very thin layer to keep the entire seam on here and make sure these don't pop off. Because I will have to snake it down in here. Even if you have the A-frame, you have to kind of angle it over the variators up there. So you want to make sure this gasket and these here don't pop off while you're installing that. This is a little trick that Dan here at NG Supercars taught me. You know, usually I never have to do that. Most, you know, Toyotas, Kias, Subarus, all that stuff. Don't ever have tough angles to get this valve covers in or any of that. But just making sure the gasket seats perfectly. Everything's nice and seated. The reason this one was actually leaking, let me walk over here real quick, is I do see a lot of guys recommend putting adhesive and all that gasket maker on the edges. But this is why it was failing, because of how thick of an adhesive they place on just a few corners, like here, there. So it didn't allow it to seat correctly. So you don't want to overdo it with the gasket maker and all that. You know, this one here, this gasket in the bag was kind of folded up, so I have very lightly clamped it down with some vice grips here. This way it can just stay here and kind of form to its new shape. They were all twisted up, so it wasn't staying on here. So overnight these should cure and harden just a little bit, and it'll prevent from the gaskets popping off while putting them in, and making sure everything's lined up. But overall, this was not a bad, you know, not too difficult of a job. Just first time doing it with the A-frame out. Last one I did was standing in here, no trans, no air box, intake was off, the oil reservoir here was up on the way. So I had a ton of room to get down here and do all that. Fuel rails were also removed. But overall, this wasn't all that difficult a job. Just a quick update, and I believe it's part 4 for this. Just wanted to show you all how much room I have to work with. So you're seeing that I'm seated down. Let me put these down, make sure it's not open. But yeah, I'm able to reach all these bolts here on the backside. If you ever done the F430s or any of the 458s or any of that stuff, the valve covers, it's tough to reach these backsides. But I'm able to sit down and no problem, you know, snugging them in here. We'll do a torque pass here in a little bit. That's both sides. So there's a ton of room from the underside. It's a whole lot more comfortable than the way I originally did it.